Hi everyone, my name is Christine and I'm a type 1 diabetic. I am doing these videos as a way to share different, easy recipes that will not spike your blood sugars. My grandmother encouraged me to do this as I helped her reverse her type 2 diabetes, kidney damage, lose weight, and get active all at age 78. It's never too late to get healthy and manage your blood sugars. I want to encourage people to get active and eat things that don't spike their blood sugars to help prevent diabetic complications. I do want to mention I am not a medical doctor and encourage viewers to consult with their physician on any specific individual questions. All right, so basically our ingredients are going to be the oil of your choice, some rinsed, cleaned Brussels sprouts, 2 garlic cloves. Feel free to add more if you like garlic. And my favorite friend here, Montreal steak seasoning. You'll see as we move forward in future videos, I use this on a lot of vegetables. It gives it a lot of flavor and it really makes vegetables taste very good. So I'm going to go ahead and just peel off the garlic clove here. Sometimes they could be a little bit tricky. I like to get fresh ones for a few reasons. Basically, the taste is way better. And also, a lot of the pre-packaged ones come from China. And it always makes me a little bit nervous, especially having an autoimmune disease, getting stuff from overseas that has a lot of pollutants. So basically, I'm just going to kind of mince this up. I'm not real picky on the size. I really like garlic, so if I get a big chunk in there, it's not the end of the world. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this garlic in the oil as soon as I'm done cutting it here. That way it kind of marinates in the oil. Even if the oil's not hot, that's totally fine to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that in my pan. So as I stated before, I have a little leftover bacon grease and I'm going to put the garlic in that and then just put that back on the stove. Next, we're going to prep the Brussels sprouts. Basically, you're going to just cut off the end there and cut it in half. And we're going to repeat this process until all of our Brussels sprouts are ready to go. Now that I have all of those cut up, basically, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning and with my garlic and my oil. I personally like a decent amount of oil. It helps give the Brussels sprouts a nice crispy texture, both on the bottom and the top. If you use light oil, that will not happen, so just FYI on that. I'm going to add a tiny bit of extra oil to my pan. Basically, I'm probably using approximately a 1/4 cup. I just added some avocado oil in with my bacon grease. I'm going to sprinkle just a bit, maybe a teaspoon or 2 of the Montreal steak seasoning. And I'm going to put the Brussels sprouts in the pan, basically face down. If you could see that there. We're going to fill the whole pan like this. And what I do with the leftover little leaves is I throw them on top after I get these all face down. Basically, this just makes it really easy to cook. And you'll see here in a bit, but basically what I like to do is just flip them only one time and not have to deal with tossing and turning the pan. These are a great side dish to bring to parties. I often bring this to different events I go to, or you could pair it with dinner, like maybe a nice steak or grilled chicken, whatever works for you. Brussels sprouts are definitely one of my favorite vegetables. They have about 8 carbs per cup, so definitely not too many carbs at all. A cup is very filling, especially when you add a lot of oil. I should mention I use a lot of oil, as you can see. I'm not on a keto diet. My protein is too high for that. But I really like adding a lot of oil to my foods because it helps slow down the blood sugar rise of your foods. I know the 80s and 90s, unfortunately, we were spoon-fed to be super scared of fat. That is now changing, thank goodness. I think fat is super essential for your brain and definitely for satiety. I think part of the reason we, as a nation and here in the States, became so unhealthy is because we've skipped fat in a lot of foods, and basically it just leaves you hungry and unsatisfied. So just basically want to give you a little bit of background why I add so much oil to stuff. I really enjoy it. It makes your food taste great and it fills you up so you're not hungry an hour later. So there we go. I have all of the Brussels sprouts face down in the pan. I'm going to cook this at a medium to medium high heat for approximately 17 minutes or so. I like them to be brown. Once they're brown, I will flip them, turn off the heat, and then let the heat of the pan cook the other side. All right, so these have been cooking for 7 minutes or so on a medium to medium high heat, and they're just about ready to flip. As you can see, it's got a little brownish tint there, which is exactly how I like them. So I'm just going to flip all of these guys over here. And like I said, once I'm done flipping all of these, I'm going to turn off the pan, the heat of the pan, and I'm going to let just the heat of the oil and the pan cook the bottom. Almost done here. Got half of them. Probably filled up this pan just a bit too full. That's okay, we'll just have extra. Give this one right here. And then basically I let them sit off heat for, I don't know, 10 minutes or longer. Basically, I will do this while I'm prepping either something else for dinner or, getting other things ready. But there you go. So there's Brussels sprouts. We just flipped all those over. I'm going to turn off the heat there. And then, like I said, let it sit for about 10 minutes or so. All right. Well, that does it for today's episode on how to make some really wonderful Brussels sprouts. Till next time.